And we are live. Now, this may be the most important video that either one of us has ever done. It's a very serious topic tonight that we're going to be talking about, ranking Billy Joel albums. So everybody needs to take this very seriously. And I will be personally attacking Jake anytime he disagrees with me. And you're allowed to personally attack Jake in the no, I'm kidding. Of course. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to do this because we're both fans, but went through and just were listening to all of them. And Jake had said that he was going to listen to the whole thing, and I'm like, twist my arm, I'll do it too. And then we decided to do a video, and so we don't know where each other's rankings are. We have not talked about it, so we will be finding out where everything is at the same time as all of you. And so yeah, this should be a lot of fun. I'll pop up. We had some early comments. Glass House, yeah, such a great album. And A Stranger also just really, really great albums as well. And then, yeah, Ian Nerez. We have a wizard in training. Agree. It is very serious. I appreciate that you appreciate the seriousness here. That, come on, like that doesn't count though, Ian. Come on.
That's cheating.
I mean, if we're going greatest hits, but it's like then it's which one? Because he's got it's too many. But that is a really great album too. So that's we were talking before. There aren't really bad ones.
Yeah.
At the same time. So, but yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting. So with that, we might as well just jump right in and start at the very bottom, which would be number 12.
Yes.
So number 12. So what do you? I'll let you go first. What are you putting at number 12?
Well, just before I reveal it, like you said, he has 12 studio albums, and all of them, none of them are bad. They're all good. Obviously, some are better than others, but it was really fun to listen to him because I had heard, like some of the 70s ones, like with the really popular hits, but I'd never really listened to all of them before. So this was a really fun experience. And putting them, like ranking them, was very tricky because they're all good albums. But at my number 12, I have The Nylon Curtain.
Oh, I wondered. I had a feeling that was going to be pretty low for you. So this, but again, I thought we were going to have a lot of differences early on. Also, I probably should have let you like introduce yourself instead of just making mean comments about you. So if you want to do an intro.
My name is Jake. I am the bookish drummer, and I am a big Billy Joel fan. So,
all right, good enough. So yeah, The Nylon Curtain. I'm not super surprised about this. It is definitely not the album that I have though, because I feel very confident in saying that for me, Street Life Serenade is my number 12 overall. And so we can talk about that a bit. So why Nylon Curtain?
So I think one of the reasons why I love Billy Joel is that his albums and his songs are just very fun. And for me, this is not necessarily like a fun album. It does have some good songs, like it has Allentown and it has Pressure. But other than that, the other songs just didn't really do it for me. He also it's a weird album, and it's heavily inspired, I could tell, by the Beatles. Like a lot of the songs do kind of sound like he's trying to emulate the Beatles. And for me, some of those songs just don't work as well. So it's out of all of his albums, it's definitely my least favorite.
But we're not bringing up Goodnight Saigon, which is a classic. So that's
it didn't really do much for me, if I'm being honest.
Wow. Okay. So Nylon Curtain is one I thought about. And the hard thing is it does have a lot of good songs, but as an album, I do agree is weird. This is specifically one I had a little bit of trouble placing because Allentown is a great song. I do like Goodnight Saigon. I'm actually not as huge on Pressure as some. But yeah, it's, there's some good songs, but there's also some weird ones that are like, what's happening? Like Surprises is a weird song.
Also, I think we were saying the song Laura, he drops the F-bomb, which
Yes.
I was on a walk and listening to it. I had to double take. I was like, what? Really?
It is kind of jarring. I remember you messaging me about that, and I'm like, "Yep," and especially because that's one of the songs that sounds like a Beatles song in
Yeah.
so many ways, and hearing that is very jarring.
Yeah, so I mean, like I mentioned, it is a good album, but it's probably the one, like, if I go back to listen to these albums, it's probably the one that I would listen to the least amount of times.
Understandable. Do you have a favorite song you didn't know from that album?
I had to go look on here.
I did. I'm absolutely cheating, and I brought up track listings of all of them, so I remember which song goes where.
That's
Um,
um,
but
I guess just Laura, just because it was just that bomb was just it's very memorable. So I'll pick that one.
that's fair. That's fair. Um, so kind of in agreement with you, but we'll get move on. But so for me, Scandinavian Skies is I think the sneaky good track. It is very odd, and it's not a super Billy Joel track. But I was actually looking at something, and apparently he wrote that song about the one time he tried heroin, and I had no idea that was the case. It kind of makes sense though. It's a weird song, but something about it I like that one.
I'll have to
Uh,
go back and listen to it with that in mind.
it's kind of a weird trippy song, but so yeah. So for me, with Street Life Serenade, that is like that has the entertainer on it, which is that was the big hit. But the rest of the songs they are kind of just different. Like there's a couple of instrumental songs, and again, none of it's bad, but it's a very different style. This is more of the like kind of folk rock, like root beer rag. I don't know what's going on there, but like there are still some good songs on there. But that one is just less of the Billy Joel that I like. I like some of the some stuff before that is good, really good too. But then like I like his more rock stuff. This is definitely more of the quiet folk thing. So that's where I'm not surprised that this one's going to be up at least a little bit higher as you, uh, or for you. I mean, but that one's it's just not a huge one for me.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's I mean, you'll see where it ranks on my list, but I do agree with you that it is a bit different than his other stuff.
Very true. Very true. All right. Well, shall we do number 11?
11. So for me, um number 11 is River of Dreams.
I had some hunches. I knew River of Dreams was going to be lower for you than it is for me, which I'll talk about my thoughts on it a little bit later. But I was just listening to it, having it just a fine time for the record. But I'm like, Jake's not going to like this one. That's immediately what I was thinking. I'm just like, I know you're not going to like that one, which is not an unpopular opinion. It's probably his least successful album in a lot of ways. But like I had famous last words stuck on my head for like days afterwards, I will say for the record.
Mhm.
It's just like that one always gets stuck in my head. Can listen to it's like these are the last words. Yeah, like for days I could not get it out of my head. So still does that for me. Um, but I feel like mine's probably not super surprising given my comments on the last one. But my number 11 is Turnstiles. for for similar reasons.
Okay.
Uh, which again, so I felt really bad to put that one so low because it's got some really good songs like New York State of Mind and Angry Young Man, and it's got stuff I like too. But it's just kind of like that one in Street Life Serenade. They're the ones I kind of expected to have near the bottom, and they remained there. And I think partially it's just again this one is I think a little bit better than Street Life Serenade for me, but it also is still there's not a lot of cohesion to it. It's still just kind of like one of his earlier albums where it was a little bit off. And he always has some wild cards on his albums, but this is like still some songs that I like. I don't have a lot of complaints because granted I like all of his albums too, kind of like we talked about at the beginning. Like I don't really think he has any bad ones, but it's that one's not a favorite for me. So hey, oh, we got Alan. Alan, are you a Billy Joel fan? I had no idea, but
Ooh.
I feel like we're gonna find out all the Billy Joel fans coming out of the woodwork here. So is a fun time. But
Going back to River of Dreams, you're right. It's definitely one of my least favorites. It had a couple of songs that I already knew. Like I already knew All About Soul and the title track River of Dreams. That's a good song. There were a couple of
Yeah,
good deep cuts that I liked. I liked Minor Variation. That's one of my favorites. And the closing track, like you said, Famous Last Words, is really good. But
yeah.
other than that, I could take it or leave it.
It's I mean, it's one of those things where I was sort of surprised that it didn't end up quite low on mine, in some ways. But it's just like it's kind of like it's got a lot of the sort of the rock tracks that I just like, and so I enjoyed some of them, even though the songs are kind of like, in some ways, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So it did end up higher than I expected for sure.
Okay.
Although it's definitely not like an upper half album for me either. So you'll see it sooner rather than later, for sure.
Not your number one album.
No, it's definitely not like I'm not crazy, but it's just yeah, it's one of those things. But I will say with Turnstiles, I can't remember what all of them are, but Billy Joel, when asked for his 5 favorite of his own songs, one of them was Miami 2017, which is the last track of Turnstile, which is a pretty good song, but
Mhm.
as always surprised me that he ranked that one so high, honestly.
That is surprising. I wonder
Yeah.
what other song. Do you remember what other songs he chose?
Scenes was definitely number one,
Yeah.
which is not a shock because it's pretty well agreed. And then Captain Jack was on there, also a really fun selection. And then I can't remember the other ones. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Um, but because I don't remember what talk show it was on, but it was. I'll see if I can Google it really quick. Billy Joel 5 favorite songs. Let's just see if it comes up.
Piano Man on there, maybe.
So according to AI, which I don't really trust this, but it does say scenes. She's right on time. You may be right, and so it goes. And Vienna, but like Piano Man's got to be on there.
Yeah.
So it is. Apparently, he did Colbert in 2017. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But it's a 10-minute video, and I don't have time to watch it right now. So we may never know, but I'll find out afterwards.
It's
Oh, Turnstiles is second fave. Okay, so we are very different
wow.
on that one. Which I see, and I can't knock it. It is like, even though I'm putting that as my second least favorite album, like it's a good album. I don't really think that that's where I've listened to the whole thing multiple times because it's just Billy Joel doesn't really have skips for albums. There are a very bare handful of like maybe skip songs. I usually don't anyway, but it's just yeah. So
Yeah.
oh, I missed a lot of comments while I was musing about this, but huge Billy. I really didn't know that, Alan. That's so
Thanks.
fun. So, yeah, I mean, Piano Man also a fantastic songs. Where are we ranking Summer Island? He's definitely a fan. So, yeah.
Oh boy.
So it is. I mean, again, yeah, it's a good song. Like I said, I have no hate for Turnstiles, even though it's not one of my favorites. It's still good, but so far, we know that Jake's number 12 is an Island Carton, and number 11 is River of Dream. Oh, she's okay. I was going to say, I know this. I probably don't need to read this, but
Thank you, Stacy.
um, okay. Yes. Appreciate Stacy moderating and letting everybody know where we're at. It's probably helpful. I should have planned ahead and had like some sort of like dual tier list or something, but I,
Yeah.
I did not think about that at all. So, uh, oh, I totally also forgot that I was going to plan. Well, I'll do them when I talk about them. I was going to say I was going to bust out my albums for my picks, but I don't have any of the ones that we've talked about yet.
You probably have your favorite ones. Oh.
I just knocked a bunch of stuff over. It's okay. We won't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Oh, she's even going to make the final list for us. That's
Okay.
great. Stacy is a gem. All right. So then going into number 10, let's see if we can get on the same page. What do you have for 10?
Probably not, but we'll see. Because I think we don't know each other's list, but I think I heard you say like this was like slightly underrated album. My number 10 is Cold Spring Harbor.
Oh, I'm legitimately surprised you have that so low. So I do think, yeah, that was before I was gonna say we chatted about like the first two albums, and then we decided to do this and stopped. But that's another one where I don't ever remember. That one is surprisingly high in my list. I will say as a brief spoiler, and I will defend it when we get there. But yeah, I did not. So I looped around, and for me, I did The Bridge for my number 10,
Okay.
um, which is again not a bad album, but like you take a look at the hits on there, and like Running on Ice is a pretty good song. I do like A Matter of Trust, and This Is the Time is another one that always gets stuck on my head. But then it just kind of like there are some weird ones, and I will say I'm sorry, Ray Charles, but I don't like Baby Grand. Just didn't really do it for me.
Man.
Code of Silence is fine, but it's like I don't know. That one is it's just kind of a weird album, and so again, like I still like it enough, but it was not super high on my list.
It's funny to see that I ranked that album higher than you.
I see that I would have expected that to be lower for you, to be honest, too. So it's been interesting, but
We'll get to it.
I don't have anything against Ray Charles. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I never skip the song for the record either when I listen to the album. Never have, probably won't, but it's just I don't know. It's not a favorite.
Okay. Okay. But going back to Cold Spring Harbor, this one I had heard before, but it's been a long time. And re-listening to it, like it does have some really good songs. It's got She's Got Away, just a classic. It's got Tomorrow Is Today, which is definitely Beatles inspired. I really like that one. But other than that, like I like the vibe of the album, but a lot of the songs for me are just kind of very forgettable. Like you kind of listen
Mm.
to them, and then I'm just looking at the song list here. I couldn't really like hum any of them to you. Like they're not as memorable as a lot of his other songs.
I think that's actually completely fair. So that makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say Tomorrow's Today is my like underrated track. I feel like from that one is just I really enjoy that one, but I think that is fair, and that's also where like historically I've always put this in my head. I've never done a formal ranking. I've always put it in my head lower, but I don't know. Maybe it was just the time because this is one I went and listened to it again after we were done because I'm like, does it belong where it is? And I was just like, I was really feeling it, so it worked out for me. Um, so it just I don't know. It was definitely higher up for me than I expected for sure.
Makes sense.
All right. We're on what number 9, I think. This
Yes.
sounds right. 9. Yeah, okay. So number 9.
So number 9 for me is an album that you've already ranked. It's Street Life Serenade. So I
All right,
do
so we're not like that far off
yeah.
then.
So I do like it like slightly more than you. This album actually kind of reminds me a little bit of like early Steely Dan in a way. So I liked it a little bit for that. But again, kind of like with Cold Spring Harbor, like I like the vibe of the album. And really besides like The Entertainer, which is like the big hit song, a lot of the songs are just kind of forgettable for me.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons that it ended up so low for me. So I'm pretty well in agreement there. But this is where I did The Nylon Curtain.
Oh, okay.
Um, which I still like I said, it's got some solid songs. And this is one that I struggled to rate this lower just because of how strong the hits are. But I also just because I like a few more of them than you do, it sounds like. But it's just like I was really trying to like tell myself like, no, even if the hits are good, as I was trying to really think like album cohesion,
Yeah.
which is like the ones I put pretty low, they're pretty consistent. So that's there's some cohesion there at least. But that's I felt like that was Nylon Curtain where that went. But it does look like he's bored by his own album in the back here, though, just kind of reading a newspaper. So there's a
Yeah.
little fun tidbit.
I do like
Oh
that.
man,
I do like the album cover though. It kind of makes it look like it's a book.
it does a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the album title. I will say either though. It's
Yeah.
just I
Does
don't know.
it have to do with any of the songs? Like, does he say nylon curtain in any of his songs?
I don't believe so. Uh, let's see. Is there a reasoning why it says it's titled Nylon Curtain?
You
It's
get another
apparently,
AI.
according to Wikipedia, I'm not using AI. I'm using Wikipedia, which is somehow much more reliable. According to this was one of his most ambitious efforts, and he's openly acknowledged it among his personal favorites. Um, so that is interesting. Um, so critics have interpreted it to be partially an homage to the recently deceased John Lennon at the time. So
That makes perfect
that
sense.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. So so the themes are during the Reagan years, pessimism about the American dream, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean that makes sense.
that checks
I
out.
would say, yeah, especially the like, hey, this is on purpose, sounding like the Beatles makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I was gonna say I assumed it's something with Iron Curtain, but yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if it specifically references, but yeah, okay. Uh, interesting times. But all right, we have to learn more factoids about Billy Joel too. So that's it's part of this is an educational video, guys.
We're
Um,
on.
oh man! All right, so number 8.
Okay.
What do you got?
This is also an album you had pretty low on your list. It's Turnstiles. So I kind of agree with you. Like, it's got some really great songs on here. It's got New York State of Mind. It's got um, what Angry Young Man. So it does have some heavy hitters, but the
Well, you got to
deep,
mention Summer Highland Falls for Alan. So
yeah, of course. Some of, but some of the deeper tracks on here aren't nearly as good as like the highs of the album. It's not a very consistent album for me.
yeah, I can see that. Um, it's the opening track too is "Say Goodbye to Hollywood." It's a good song, but it's one of those ones that I'm just like, it's a fine song, but for some reason, it's just never like, I don't know, it's fine.
Yeah,
That was another one of the like hit songs from there, and it's just like, I don't know, it's not the big one. I think James is one that's kind of a. It's not the best on there, but it's kind of just an interesting song. I think for one of like the deeper cuts, I would say. I'm trying to think about those and my like underrated songs here, but
Mhm.
um, so I went here with I have to check my list here. There we go. Stormfront.
Oh,
Um, which also is one that I'm kind of shocked I have lower than you. Um, I very much expected you to have this one a little bit lower. And this one is one also that I specifically remembered in my head as being higher. Um, Also, partially because it has a lot of good songs on it. I'm not including We Didn't Start the Fire. That is, I think, one of the most overrated Billy Joel songs. Not the most, but and it's not a bad song. It's just overrated. But like I go to extremes, the Downeaster Alexa, Leningrad, and so it goes, of course, which is also like a top tier Billy Joel song. Like, a lot of good songs, but I think part of it is this is a very like there's it's a weird album. It goes to extremes, ironically.
mm.
Um, That's the best way to put it. And it has When in Rome, which is possibly the worst Billy Joel song ever recorded. Even Billy Joel agrees with that. I have heard him
Really?
say that that's not a very good song. Um, but do you like that one?
I like that one. Yeah.
Did you really? Oh, come on. Like, and
What's
again, it's Billy Joel, so it's like it's still not bad. It's like it's fine. It's just like I don't know, it's not a very good song. He also like there's a song that he said he thinks is one of his worst that I actually quite like. So it's funny where it ends up going, but it's like I don't know. That one is it's just kind of cheesy to me. And then you go from that to and so it goes, which is like such a good song, and it's so weird because it really does go between like just kind of silly rock songs to like then very somber songs. Because
Yeah.
so okay, we're gonna track by track it apparently because now I'm ranting. So it starts with "That's Not Her Style," which is a good rock song, and you get "We Didn't Start the Fire," which is again, I'm not knocking it. It's just it's one of the ones that's been overplayed to all heck, but it's
Fair.
kind of just a goofy fun song. And then you get the Downeaster Alexa, very somber. about a man who's like lost, his family, and he's just trying to scrape together a living fishing. Uh, and then you have I Go to Extremes, which is more like classic relationship. But then like the back half, you have Stormfront, which is a pretty solid song. It's got some I don't know, like gospel type feel in there. Like it's a little bit different. But you go to that to Leningrad, which again, kind of a very somber song about being in Russia. And then you keep going. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of ping pongs. And so that's, I think, what ended up making this so low for me is
Okay.
because while I love so many songs on this album, it kind of ping pongs. And I felt like it was just a little too all over the place for me.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go back to your album now, too. So,
Oh God.
oh, that's fun. In Ames, like Ames, Iowa? I can't think of another Ames, so I'm just curious now. But okay, so sorry. I took a long time.
That's okay. I will say, obviously, I do have the album ranked higher than you, and now that you pointed that out, it is like looking at the track list. It does do that. It does ping pong, but I liked it, and I liked When in Rome. So I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. It's all good. It's all good. But well, I've forgotten what your pick even was. I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie.
it was Turnstiles for number 8.
Oh, okay. So we did talk. Okay, I'm like, I just completely blanked. I'm like, did we talk about a different one? So no, that makes sense. So yeah,
Yeah,
sorry I talked so much about.
that's all good. I mean, basically, Turnstiles was just like had really great songs, but then the deep cuts weren't as good.
Yes.
So kind of,
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So okay, that makes sense. Uh, all right. So number 7.
So number 7, this is where we get to the bridge,
I think
which
so. Okay, we're like we're not that far off. We're a little bit different, but our bottom halves are pretty similar so far.
yeah. And for me, this is definitely one of the albums that I hadn't listened to before. And the only song I really knew off of here was A Matter of Trust. That was the only
Hmm.
one. So listening
Makes
to
sense.
it for the first time, it was pretty fun and very, for me, very consistent album. Like Running on Ice, really good start. This Is the Time is pretty catchy. Matter of Trust. I really liked Modern Woman. And unlike you, I did like the Ray Charles song, Baby Cry. I did like that. And then Big Man on Mulberry Street was kind of like a big band sounding song. I really liked that.
That's a fun one.
Temptation was really good. The one song that kind of keeps this from being like higher up on the list for me is Code of Silence with Sydney Lauper.
Yeah,
I didn't really like
it
that one.
it's not a bad song, but like you have Cyndi Lauper, who's a fantastic singer, and I just kind of feel like she's a little wasted on this.
Like
Um,
I figured like it said featuring her. It's like, okay, we're gonna get like a verse with her or something, but she's kind of just in the
yeah.
background the whole time.
She really does just do backing vocals, and it's just like it's sad because like them doing, and that's where like it's nice that with the Ray Charles song, like they really like they're doing that together. But
Yeah.
this is just like I don't know. He asked Cindy, and she's like, "I don't really have time. I'll do a couple backing things, and you can just put them throughout." And like I don't, but that's where it's disappointing because that could have been a really good mix, and it is just yeah, it's all right, but this one, this came right after An Innocent Man, which was one of his more experimental albums, and I feel like you can feel that a bit here, where he's just kind of doing some fun stuff. So I agree, it's not the most consistent album in some ways, but it is. It has a lot of really good stuff, and him kind of playing around, which is one of the things that I love about Billy Joel too, is he just really does like to do lots of different stuff and experiment, and you get a wide variety of stuff. So
He kind of just feels like he can just do whatever he wants to. Like he doesn't feel pressured to kind of just be one thing.
yeah,
Just kind of do whatever he wants.
yeah, and it's usually it works out pretty well too. So it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, so here is this is where I put River of Dreams.
Uh,
Um, so still, like I said, obviously quite a bit higher than you, which did surprise me because it feels weird putting this over pretty much all of the albums I put it over in a lot of ways. I expected this to be one of my bottom ones, but again, it's just like I don't know. It's probably the album I've listened to the least for obvious reasons. And so I was just listening to it again, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like the opening track, I like Great Wall of China. It's just like it. It's just like it's a really good like rock album. It's a bit more rock than he typically does. Um, and you know, The River of Dreams is cheesy as hell, obviously, but it's a good song. Um, but then yeah, the famous last words, like I said, it was just stuck on my head for days, and it's a really good song and a fitting song to be on his like, you know, last album.
Yeah.
Uh, but even like Blonde Over Blue, I didn't think was a good song, but I was feeling it at the time too. Like there was just like I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to for it being like my least listened to Billy Joel album. So it ended up a lot higher than expected.
Yeah, I mean, when you have like a favorite artist and then you like go back and listen to them like, 10 years later, like things can change. Your tastes change a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, this is where it's going to start getting very controversial. We're
Oh.
on what, six?
Uh
Six?
yep, we're on 6.
Okay. I should have actually numbered my list, but I was moving them around, so I didn't do that. But I'll let you go first for six.
Okay, so for 6, this is where I put Stormfront.
Okay.
So I had it a little bit higher than you. And
That's very close, though.
yeah, pretty close. And it's for me, again, this is another one that I listened to for the first time. And I only really knew, We Didn't Start the Fire, obviously overplayed, but I still like it. And I
Yeah.
know And So It Goes, one of my all-time favorite Billy Joel songs. But other than that, I didn't really know anything else. But just from
Any
start to
standouts?
a lot of them. I liked Stormfront a lot. I liked When in Rome, which apparently is like the worst Billy Joel song ever, but I don't care. I really liked it. The starting song, That's Not Her Style, was really good. And I Go to Extremes. So, like, just across the board, just a really solid album.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. That's where it's that's that one especially. I was kind of surprised that I put a under River of Dreams, especially because it is like Stormfront is. I feel like not a big talked about album. Like it has its couple of hits that everybody knows, but there's just a lot of really good songs on there. So for
I
sure,
do get your point though that it's kind of like ping ponging. Like you get We Didn't Start the Fire, and then Downeaster Alexa, and then it kind of just goes from
yeah. It is, and like individually, and that's where I really struggle because like I really like a lot of those songs, and it's like the both the hits and the just like the side tracks or whatever were also I just feel like all equally for the most part good, which is rare that you have that. Where like the really well known stuff and then stuff that's lesser known is all about the same quality. It's like I love the songs, but just like as an album, I'm like it leaves just a little bit to be desired. I feel like, but this is where though I think I'm going to get in trouble a little bit. But this is where I have put Piano Man. Um, which is surprisingly low. I am aware, and I struggled with doing this, especially if you think about the ones I still haven't mentioned yet. It's surprising. I kept thinking, I'm like, does this belong here? And for me, it's again, so Piano Man, which is, I think everybody agrees is probably in the top three Billy Joel songs, or at least mostly like top five, even if you're not a fan of Piano Man, I feel like probably. Um, and it has some of like Captain Jack is the ending track is a wild track, which I think is a fun one.
yeah.
Um, my underrated track here is Stop in Nevada, um, which I don't know why. I really enjoy that song, but it's also this one is the very start of some of the stuff that I wasn't a big fan of on Street Life Serenader and Turnstiles, because it just has some of the like Traveling Prayer, like the Ballad of Billy the Kid, which again not a bad song, but it's just like that's not the Billy Joel that I gravitate through more. And so this is one where it has some really big standout songs, but a lot of the other tracks just aren't ones that I was huge on. And so That's where this one didn't get up higher, but it also like it couldn't be much lower because it's Piano Man. Come on. Like I couldn't my hands were a little bit tied there. Like I had to at least make it far. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. And yeah, um, I mean, I agree with you in some parts where like it's obviously got Piano Man, and Captain Jack is also one of my favorites. And it does have some good deep cuts on it, but you might also be surprised on where I have it on the list. I don't know. We'll see.
oh, okay. I'm very curious now. So uh we'll see indeed. But we're getting up there into top. Guys, I'm still like my ranking. I checked it and I rechecked it with my brain. But like I'm still surprised at what my number 5 is in a lot of ways. But well, I'll let you go first here with your number 5.
So my number 5 is Piano Man.
Okay, so we're really close again. Okay, I was thinking it might have been a little up there more. So
I think I mean, obviously I haven't ranked it slightly higher, but I do think I think it's more I don't know, it's a more cohesive album for me. I do like a lot of the songs, especially like we said, Piano Man, Captain Jack. I do really like not Captain, A Ballad of Billy the Kid. That's always been one of my favorites. Stop in Nevada, like you said, really good deep cut. You're My Home is one of my favorites. I think that's an
yep.
underrated one. Somewhere Along the Line is really good too. So like just I mean the top 5 really like these are like really like cemented in stone for me, like my favorite Billy Joel album. So it was hard, like from this point, it was kind of hard to like rank them, but like I feel like this is a good spot.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and I respect it. So this is where I shockingly finally have Cold Spring Harbor,
Oh,
which I still haven't gotten to that, and I was really surprised.
I'd forgotten
And
that one.
right, so when I was listening, I kept ranking Cold Spring Harbor slightly above Piano Man, and then that really impacted my rating because then it had to just be like, is it better than Cold Spring Harbor and also better than Piano Man? And so because I'm like Cold Spring Harbor kept creeping just over, and it's one again, I've listened to it plenty. It's not one of my like most listened to, but I think for me, it's just that as it's a very consistent album. And while it's still he's very much still kind of trying to find his style and find his footing in a lot of way. It's
Yeah.
like you start off with She's Got Away, which is a really popular one, and then You Can Make Me Free, which is a Beatles song by another name, of course. And I will absolutely admit that, but it's still like a good catchy song. But then you just keep going, and Everybody Loves You Now is really strong. Why Judy Why is really strong. Tomorrow is Today, which is probably my favorite on here of like the
Yeah.
underrated ones. And even the instrumental one is just like, I'm just like, I don't know. This just, I started listening to it and I just like, was really enjoying it. And I went back and listened to it again after my ranking. I'm like, yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I never considered this a top 5 album of Billy Joel at all, not even close. So this was very shocking to me with going through, but I don't know. I just enjoyed the heck out of it. Even after listening to all the others, I'm just so like, yeah, I was really having a good time.
I think it's an album that because I've only listened to this album like maybe twice in my life. I think it's an album that could grow on me. Like if I listen to it more, like I think it could grow on me a bit. I don't know. We'll see.
I think that's what's happened to me because I don't remember liking it nearly as much as I did this time. Like I remember like being good, but I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. So that's where like I knew Turnstiles and Street Life were going to be low for me because I just those ones I always in my head were kind of low, but this one I thought would be kind of down in that lower range, and it didn't end up that way. So, but all right, folks, this is where it gets really serious. We're top 4 now, and I'm very curious if we can actually hit. I wonder if we'll end up being the same top 4, if we'll sync up, or we'll still have some differences. So I am especially curious here to see where we go with
I
this
think
one. So
I think we have the same albums in the top 4, right?
we
Like
definitely have the same albums. It's just if the order is the same. So
it's I don't know. Do you want me to tell you what my number 4 is?
let's do it. I want to know.
Okay. So, and again, this is really hard because all of these albums are really, really good. But my number 4 is An Innocent Man.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So we're finally in sync here. So yeah, An Innocent Man, which is so this is where I do have to soapbox that the most overrated Billy Joel song of all time is on here, which is Uptown Girl. Um, Largely because I actually started to not like that song because I heard it on the radio so many times. And it's just like the man, as we've talked about for 40 minutes, has so many good songs. Just play something else. Doesn't have to be Uptown Girl. It just doesn't have to be. And it's like, again, there's nothing wrong with the song. I just heard it too much. It's Stacy's number one. Yeah, Tell Her About It is good. But yeah, this is the album I feel like I commented as being one of his more experimental ones because he was just this was sort of a concept album where he was going through all of the music that spoke to him when he was younger or some of his influences in doing it. So you get a lot of the different styles,
Yeah.
and it just so many really really good things. But I'll shut up and let you talk for a minute here. So
I completely agree with you. Like it's just got so many great songs. Obviously, I like Uptown Girl, but I will admit that it's overplayed. Like there are other Billy Joel songs out there. And again, you know, some of the songs that I'd heard before, like The Longest Time, obviously, Tell Her About It, definitely up there. Keeping the Faith. But some of the ones that I hadn't heard as much, like Easy Money, is one of my new favorites now.
oh, it's such a good opening track
I
too.
know.
Like that really kicks it off.
Yeah. I also liked Christy Lee a lot. I liked the title track, Innocent Man, like just from top to bottom, just really solid album.
Yeah. And that's where too, like this one is like I knew it was a good album that I really enjoyed it, but I didn't expect it to be so high in my formal ranking. But it's exactly like what you said. It's like top to bottom, like it's just good. It's just really good, the whole
Yeah.
thing. Even the songs people don't know.
Yeah. And also for me, like, yeah, when I listened to these, I listened to them chronologically. And what came before this one was The Nylon Curtain, which I didn't really like as much. So jumping into this album was like, oh yeah, now we're back. We're back.
That is fair. That is fair. Yeah. And this is like cuz so the, you know, I feel like The Longest Time is a big one in Uptown Girl and then Keeping the Faith. Which is Keeping the Faith is a really good song and I feel like it's a good track ender or album ender as well. But yeah, there's so many good songs on here. And then I will mention Leave a Tender Moment Alone because that is like such not a Billy Joel song. It's such a different style, but he nails it. Like some of the different styles he does. Again, I don't know. This is one of those albums where he's just like, I'm gonna do what I want to do,
Yeah.
and comes up with this great of an album of just trying out all kinds of different stuff. It's just really really great. And you get some of the like the inspirations there of some of like the 60s music and even earlier than that, and you have like the R&B and all kinds of stuff, but you get some like Careless Talk could almost be like a Frankie Valli song, honestly, like things like that too. You get such a wide variety there, so really fun one.
Glad to see that we're like in sync here finally.
This could be the only one that we're the same. Like it's still possible,
Yeah.
uh, but we'll have to see. So, all right, I'm gonna grab my number 3 because I have the record as well, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
slowly lift it up while you reveal, and we'll see if we match.
Okay. So my number 3 is, well, it's not that one. it's
Oh,
it's Glass Houses.
how dare you? First of I okay. At least you have it at number 3. I'm like, it's Jake. He's gonna put Glass Houses somewhere super low because he knows how much I love it. But
Uh,
I will say the top 3, you could pick any of these, and I can't really blame you.
yeah.
It's so difficult. But Glass Houses, though, let's hear your crap opinion. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it's in the top 3. Come on, man.
I know, I kid.
And this is one of the ones that I had heard before, and it's just undeniably just got some of his best songs. Like You May Be Right, It's Still Rock and Roll to me. Don't Ask Me Why. Like those are all a lot of my favorites. But for me, like what makes a great album is the deep tracks. And All for Lena, really good.
Ah,
Sometimes a Fantasy. I Don't Want to Be Alone. Sleeping with the Television. Like just all the songs are just so good.
it's just sometimes the fantasy is a great song, but the more I mean, like literally what it's about, it's just being phone sex, the song, and it's just like who else could get away with that song and have it be so catchy and like that's literally is. But yeah, this is again, I do love this album, and so I'll hold that up too. I do have this one, which this fun fact. I was talking to my uncle about how much I loved this album one day, and then he's like, "Oh, hold on a second." And he just goes up to his room and gets it and gives it to me, and he'd had it like bought it when it came out, and I'm just like, "Okay, cool. I wasn't expecting that." But gosh, yeah, I feel like this does have probably some of the most like really recognizable hits that like besides some of the really early ones, like you said. But yeah, All for Lena is one of my absolute favorite deep tracks.
Yeah.
I really love that song. The You Were the One is one of the other ones Billy Joel said was one of his worst songs. The French one.
Yeah.
And granted, his reasoning was, I don't speak French. What business did I have having a verse in French? And I'm like, fair. Uh,
I liked it.
uh, yeah, I do too. That's the one I'm like, I 100% disagree with him on that one. Uh, and Through the Long Night's a good song too. And Close to the Borderline, so many good songs. So
Yeah.
many good songs. So,
And my only reasoning why this is number 3 is just my top 2 I like slightly more. Like that's the only
I
reason.
get it. Yeah. Well, I'll talk a bit about 52nd Street then, and you can jump into since I know you have this slightly higher, but again has a lot of the hits, like Big Shot in My Life, like specifically, or some big ones. Zanzibar, which somehow became like a TikTok trend at some point. I remember hearing it was like an article because somebody asked Billy Joel about it, and he's just like, I don't know how these kids are finding it, but that's pretty cool. And like that was his response. Is a good song though. But this is one too where like has to be, and again, this is where the top 3 are so hard because 52nd Street is one of my favorite album enders. It's just like it's so unique, and I really love the way that it ends, and it's again him just kind of doing different stuff. This is also such a cohesive album. It just really it flows. The songs belong to each other. The kind of the style, because it starts a little bit different with the first few tracks, and then we kind of break into Zanzibar, and it's just yeah. I mean, Until the Night is also, I feel like, one of those the slower ones that's a little bit underrated too. Is just like that one is another one that's always stuck in my head, and I'm just sitting like listening to it. So many great songs, and again, it's pretty much just the top 2 for me. Again, I just like just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now I am assuming that is going to be your number 2.
What, 52nd Street?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my.
I'm just I'm okay. I'm like, we might as well segue if you want to talk more about
Yeah,
52nd
it
Street.
is my number 2, and yeah, this one, uh, it is hard to rank like Billy Joel songs, but like my all-time favorite Billy Joel song is My Life. So that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit higher upper than Glass Houses. But you've also got Big Shot, which is one of my favorites. Honesty, and Zanzibar, like you said. One of my favorite deep cuts is Stiletto. Have had that song stuck in my head for the past week. I
Yeah,
love that song.
understandable.
You've got Half a Mile Away, which also got stuck in my head a lot. Until the
That's
Night.
such like an upbeat song too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just again, top to bottom, like not a bad song on here. It's just, one of those really good albums.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So this is difficult for me to say my number 2 because wow, I know what everybody's assuming based on my reactions, and I have for years, for many years, always said that my favorite is Glass Houses. However, I have placed that at number 2. Shocked me. I know, right? I have for so many years said, and I will explain why when we get to it in a
Very
moment. But
curious.
I I love this album so much, and I think too, it's even though it has the hits, I just feel like it's every song on here for me is just really really good, and I really enjoy it, and like the ending doesn't go off in the best way, like because I really like Close to the Borderline quite a lot, and is another one. But the very last track here is it's a good song, but it's just it's not quite my favorite, and so like I was really having to get nitpicky
Yeah.
in order to figure out where it was going to go. But it's just, yeah, like I said, I love All for Lena is one of my favorite of the deep tracks. I Don't Want to Be Alone, Sleeping with the Television On are both really really great songs. It's just like it's such a great album. It is such a great album. So sounds like though we're back in sync though for our number ones, which I
Yeah.
expected this to be your number one. I did not expect it to be mine.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm
so
shocked. I did not think
I
that's
know.
like the biggest
I,
shock of this whole thing. Because I
the big
always knew
shock
like
of it.
this houses was your favorite.
I have and it's still it's like by a hair. And so so we by default our number one, both of us, is The Stranger.
Yes.
Now the reason it got it, and I'm not even kidding me, is the last few seconds of the last song on the album where we have the little reprise of the Stranger theme.
Yeah.
And it just it that's where, like I said, I was really trying to rank as a cohesive whole album. That's also one of the reasons that Nylon Curtain was up for me too, because we did the little Allentown reprise and that one for the record. But it's like the Stranger has, not only does it have no bad songs, it doesn't even have any like good songs. It only has great songs.
Yeah.
Um, and like I will stand by that. There is no weak point at all. It not only does it have some incredibly iconic songs, including my favorite of all time, which at this point, an hour in, Bottle of White, Bottle of Red, or hold on, perhaps a rosé instead.
Nice.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting the whole time.
I've been taking like an hour to do that.
I did buy all of these strictly for this joke too. I want you to know that was my dedication, because like I won't even drink this one. I don't drink red wine.
So that's your all-time favorite Billy Joel song?
Yes, yeah. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is my number one.
Okay.
I still feel confident saying that.
But yeah, like you said, for me, it's hard to like say like an album is perfect, but like this is one of those instances where like there's no flaws with this album. It's just a perfect album. And for me, like going back to listen to all of these, like I already knew this was going to be my favorite. It was going to be really hard for an album to top this one. So just it's got some of my all-time favorites, a lot of classics. Moving Out is probably like my second favorite Billy Joel song. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant's really high up there. Only the Good Die Young, Just the Way You Are. Like I could name all the songs, but basically it's just a perfect album.
Yeah, it's hard to not. And I mean, it's just like, even it's again because there's no weak points. And like you have Vienna's the other one that I think got popular again, like on like with the TikTok kids.
Yeah.
And then like the end track, Everybody Has a Dream, which is just a really like it's a really solid ending track already. It does a really great job, and then you just bring in the little bit back of The Stranger, and it's just like
Yeah.
it is so good. Yeah, it's just I will say so, because I don't have like a this song's overrated on this album because I just can't find one to do. But something I always think is funny is the song Just the Way You Are, which is, obviously it's like a love song, but like many of Billy Joel's love songs, if you analyze just a little bit, it does come off as a little condescending, which I always think is funny. Now keeping in mind that he was with two different models, so I feel like makes sense too. But he even has the line in like, "I don't want clever conversation. Don't worry about it." It's just like implying that like, yeah, you might be a little bit dumb, but that's okay. I don't want.
That's not why I'm going out with you. Let's just make that
uh,
clear.
I say Layla is not the biggest Billy Joel fan. She did not enjoy the experience of having me listen to all of the Billy Joel albums as much. But I'll ask her. I'll see if she wants to tell me what her favorite Billy Joel song is.
Stacy's is Uptown Girl, by the way. She wanted me to tell you that, but I said,
She commented, yeah, that, and tell her about it.
which it's not a bad song. It's just overplayed.
Yeah, I swear it's just like you know, I I don't really dislike any of them. That one is just it again. It was more just like I got tired of hearing it because it was just so often. But I listened to most of this while I was working. Um, the people want to know your favorite Billy Joel song and album.
It's not an argument. It's Vienna.
She says Vienna.
Okay.
Just fair. It's also on the album we ranked number 1, so that's
cry
fair.
To Vienna, I don't trust you as a person.
She said if you don't cry to Vienna, she doesn't trust you as a person. So
okay.
So it's even a track on The Stranger, so that does work pretty well. I mean, honestly. But so do you feel like you got your ranking right the first time? Because that's the main thing.
I definitely had to. I had to change it a lot because I originally had like the bridge and Stormfront like a little lower, but then like going back, I'm like, you know what, this just has really good songs on it, so I had to like put it slightly higher. And then I thought like Turnstiles, like that was one of the ones that I'd heard before, but then going back to listen to it, I'm like, you know what, it's not as good as I remember it being, so I just had to go like a little bit lower.
Fair enough. I was just making a pun about Get It Right the First Time, the song.
That went completely over my head.
I was gonna say, you took me really seriously. Get it right the first time, that's the main thing.
Right.
I just want to listen to more Billy Joel now. This is all it's done. But I did mostly listen to headphones, but I was cleaning out the garage and I had it on a Bluetooth speaker and listened to a couple of albums while cleaning out the garage on a Bluetooth speaker. Quite loud, I will admit, but nobody complained. It's Billy Joel, so
Yeah.
I'm...
It was fun to see that we had the same like top 4 albums, just kind of in different places. But
yeah, that's where I feel like I don't know, and that's where I'm curious because it seems like we had some general consensus. A lot of people with The Stranger as well. So it's just all Billy Joel. We're trying to get into his top 1%. Fans. This is what we're going for here. But this is not the first or even probably like the third or time I've just listened to all of Billy Joel. Like I have done this before. It's been a bit, but I've definitely done it before too. But just like there's such variety too. You really don't get the variety with a lot of artists as well. So it makes it fun. But yeah, I like that we had more close than I thought. So we had a lot in different order down the bottom, but then we started getting some that were like we're one spot away, and I do think it's fun that we had the top 4 where we did. But because An Innocent Man is a great album too. But 52nd Street, Glass Houses, and The Stranger, I just feel like all are so close to each other for me. With 52nd Street just being just ever so slightly lower, but like I could just sit and listen to all of those albums all day, no complaints. So
and also crazy that those 3 albums came out back to back to back.
Right.
That's got to be like his peak. Like Stranger, 52nd Street, Glass Houses, just really good stretch.
I mean, that is completely fair. It's like, who else has that kind of run? Well, and that's the crazy thing too, is because he had some really big hits early on in his career, obviously, but then to just come out with such strong albums, one right after the other like that is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
For sure. So what's your all-time favorite? Billy Joel song?
It's My Life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you said this, but all of a sudden I was blanking. So,
Yeah. I first, I have a short story to tell. In high
oh
school,
yes,
I was in marching band, and one of the years we randomly, I think one year we did like Beatles songs, and then the other year we did Billy Joel, which was a lot of fun.
oh,
And we did, like the big ones, like we didn't start the fire, Piano Man, Only the Good Die Young. But then the fourth song was My Life, and I never really heard that song. So we were practicing that song, and then I eventually like looked it up, and the lyrics just hit me, like because I was in high school, like with those lyrics, it just really resonated with me. So that's all. That's
it's
always
fair.
been my favorite since high school.
I gotcha. I mean, it's so hard. That's a whole nother video ranking Billy Joel songs, but uh,
God.
uh maybe part two. No, I would be too difficult. I feel like, but yeah, no. I mean, Scenes from Italian Restaurant is just. I've always just really liked that song.
Yeah.
Um, I like to get kind of multiple styles with it, and it's great. And then Piano Man's obviously up there for me, and So It Goes obviously up there too. But there's so many. It's very difficult. And he does have a ton of hits for sure as
I'm
well.
trying to I'm trying to figure out like what was my favorite song that I had never heard before, because obviously I'd heard a lot of these
Yeah,
songs, but I'm trying to figure out like if I had to choose a song like that was my favorite that I never heard of. Man, that's tough. Maybe like uh something off of The Bridge, like I was gonna say Baby Grand with Ray Charles because that was a really
that's okay if I get it. It is a good song, like I said. It's just I don't know.
probably just a lot of songs off of The Bridge really surprised me. Like Running on Ice, that was a really good one. Modern Woman. So like, yeah, The Bridge might be one like with more listens. It might even get higher on the list for me.
I could see that. It's honestly, this was just fun because it got you to listen to all the rest of the Billy Joel albums, and I'm glad that you had a good time, and not only had a good time, but like the fact too that you had some that you hadn't listened before that ended up so high.
Yeah,
I feel like is also good, just some that you enjoyed, and so that's what kind of makes it fun. So that's where like I just for me the fact that I was surprised by several things because I had never tried to formally rank, like I had vague ideas in my head was just interesting because of having listened through before. But it's just like that's what I feel like too is I don't know anybody who likes Billy Joel enough to be doing a ranking of the albums is probably all right in my book, even if they have a completely different ranking. So, uh, uh, still a fun time. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. Now we just apparently we'll have to go listen to Fantasies and Delusions, the classical one, because we did not include that one here. So
it could
uh,
be his all-time best album. We don't even know it.
it could be. And I was gonna say I do have one of his live albums, but I didn't bring it. I threw it over there. Didn't bring it over either. But I still need to. This is maybe a good plug. If you have the Billy Joel albums that I'm missing and just want to give them to me, that would be cool. Um, I know I've been slowly collecting over the years, very slowly collecting as I see them, and so I still obviously need to get The Stranger because I feel like
I was
especially
surprised.
after this,
I was surprised you
I
didn't have The
know.
Stranger.
Yeah, I need to just go out and buy it because for the most, I've always passively collected. I don't usually go out and look for specific records and like buy them online or anything. It's what I find around me, and that's kind of always been the way that I've done it. And so I always check for Billy Joel, but I don't really find it. But like The Stranger, I feel like I should have that one for sure. So what about the Broadway Moving Out album? I mean, if ever there's something for Alan that does sound very Alan. So
Yeah.
I honestly I don't think I know that one. So um uh so what is now I'm curious though. So we'll do another Billy Joel. Uh I
Which
wonder like what his actual biggest hits are. Billy Joel best charting songs. You ever hear the Weird Al parody of Piano Man?
No, I don't think so.
That's a real one. It's a ode to a superhero. It's about Spider-Man. Um,
Huh.
and that is a real thing. So, this is interesting. So apparently, his number one albums include River of Dreams, Stormfront, and then Glass House's 52nd Street and The Stranger. Oh, no, The Stranger went number 2. It peaked at number 2.
Wow.
So that is surprising. Man, it would be really cool if this was in order. But so songs that hit number 1 were It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, Tell Her About It, We Didn't Start the Fire. Is that really it? Okay, that's apparently those are the only number 1s. This is shocking.
I mean, he had probably a lot of competition, you know?
I mean, fair. And like there were lots of other like top 10, top 5 even in here, but I'm surprised they didn't have more than that. So My Life is a number 3, Just the Way You Are, number 3. Uptown Girl, number 3.
Because I'm trying to think of like other, like 1977 when he did The Stranger. That was also the year Fleetwood Mac came out with Rumors, and that's like one of the biggest albums of all time.
Okay, I do feel like this is a Broadway show that I would watch. I'm not much for musicals, but you had me in Billy Joel. Apparently, I need to check this out. So I am unfamiliar, but yeah, I love it. I love it. So, but well, anyway, unless anybody else has other things to yell at us, I feel like that's we've ranked the albums. We've learned some Billy Joel trivia. And had some fun. We've learned that Jake has okay opinions because they're pretty close to mine. And obviously mine are the correct ones. So no, I'm kidding. It is funny though, because I was just talking about this actually with Layla today, where it's like, it's funny because we do have so much in common with music and so little in common with books.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we met based on like book stuff is still funny to me because if you're watching and you don't know, Jake and I have like polar opposite taste. So usually if he loves something, I'm like, I will stay away, and vice versa. Because it just doesn't work out. And so we ended up talking a ton more about music because we're a lot closer or have a lot more common ground, at least with music. So fun times. But
yeah.
Well, any final words? Any famous last words?
I will say that I'm shocked. Like, I wasn't too shocked by your ranking, but I was shocked that you had Cold Spring Harbor that high on your list, and Glass Houses is not your favorite.
I know.
I thought for sure that was going to be your number 1.
I'm in a good mood with Jake. Why would you tell me this right now? Okay.
She's trying to sabotage us.
Felix Oscar for the modern. I love it. But oh gosh, that's not surprising though. I would have probably told you not to read that, to be honest, even though I love it. But
I got like halfway through it, but not for me.
No, it's fair. But yeah, no, Glass Houses was the biggest thing for me. And it's still, I don't know, that might still be my like personal favorite, even though I dropped it slightly on the ranking. But I don't think anybody can blame me for putting The Stranger up there either. It's the same thing. But
it's
like,
just too good.
Yeah. And like I knew I really liked 52nd Street a lot, but that one too is just like I didn't realize that was going to be my like top 3 and like have it be so close too. Where like it's still a conversation. Like it's not like a default. Like the top 3 for me were so hard. And then it's funny that we had Innocent Man 4 as well, because that is such a good album as well again. And so it's just
a really fun album.
Yeah, there's so much fun stuff on there for sure. But yeah, so there was some surprises for me as well, which was fun, and it's nice revisiting stuff like that too. So yeah, well, this was a lot of fun. Thanks all for joining, and I've now learned that Alan is a big Billy Joel fan, which I didn't know, which is fun. Which is fun for sure too. But thanks all for stopping by. and having some fun with us while we talk Billy Joel. And I
Yeah.
think that's pretty well it. So we'll see you next time.